Dear second sem major students, welcome to my class on metaphysical poetry. Today I'll discuss something on the metaphysical poetry and especially the poems of John Donne prescribed in your syllabus. First of all, I would like to remind you of my classes on the outline history of English literature that I gave you in the beginning of semester 1. If you remember, just after the Middle Age, the modern age begins, and the first part of the modern age is the age of Shakespeare. The age of Shakespeare covers two ages, the Elizabethan age and the Jacobean age, extending from 1564 to 1625. And now you see, just after the age of Shakespeare, there is an age which is known as the Caroline age, because Charles I was the King of England at that time. That was especially an age of poetry, because we see some poets in the Caroline age. The most important poets are John Donne, Henry Vaughan, Andrew Marvell, Herbert, and a few others. The poets wrote specially two kinds of poems: religious poems or devotional lyrics and love lyrics. The poems could not get much popularity during the Caroline age, and even after that age. During the Commonwealth period and the Restoration age, the Caroline poets were ignored. Nobody took any interest in the poems written by Donne and his followers. Even the whole of the 18th century ignored the poems by John Donne and his followers. The Romantic age came, and similarly there was the Victorian age, and nobody took any interest in the poems of the Caroline poets. It was only in the 20th century that T.S. Eliot found some merit in the poems written by the Caroline poets. Actually, the term metaphysical to the Caroline poems or the poems by Caroline poets was first given by Dr. Johnson. And he used this term metaphysical only in a derogatory sense. Dr. Johnson did not praise the poems of John Donne and his followers. He simply gave this term metaphysical for the poems of the Caroline poets. It was only in the 20th century that T.S. Eliot, the greatest poet critic of his time, that the metaphysical poetry written by the Caroline poets was given much importance, it was praised, it was appreciated, and even the readers started taking interest in those poems. The real merit of the poems written by the Caroline poets was highlighted, it was brought to light only by T.S. Eliot. And now we could understand how much interesting, how much informative are the poems by John Donne and his followers. Actually, the word metaphysical is made of two words, meta and physics. Meta means beyond and physics means physical world. So, the literal meaning of metaphysical is beyond this physical world. But only this literal meaning is not sufficient to highlight the qualities, the merits of the poems of the Caroline poets. Metaphysical poetry is characterized by some special features, and more or less most of the poets of that time, most of the poets of the age of Charles I, most of the poets of Caroline age share the features, more or less. The first thing that strikes regarding metaphysical poetry is its use of different kinds of far-fetched images, that is, heterogeneity of imagery. This term is given by T.S. Eliot. Heterogeneity of imagery. The metaphysicals use different kinds of images, scientific, geographical, religious, and so on. And this quality of metaphysical poetry, this feature, this merit of metaphysical poems can be seen in most of the poems of that period. Different kinds of images are used. Then, unified sensibility. T.S. Eliot said that the metaphysical poets had unified sensibility, a fusion of intellect and emotion, a union of intellect and emotion. Generally, this does not happen. And when a poem lacks unified sensibility, this is dissociation of sensibility. So T.S. Eliot likes metaphysical poems because of their unified sensibility. A blend of emotion and reason is there in the poems of John Donne and his followers. So heterogeneity of imagery, unified sensibility, abrupt opening. The opening of a metaphysical poem is sudden or abrupt. Sudden beginning is there. And they have dramatic quality. They are not dramas, but they have qualities of a drama. They look like drama. Setting is there. Dramatic setting is there. And above all, metaphysical poetry is characterized by the use of conceits. Conceit, what is the literal meaning of conceit? Conceit means pride, ahankar. So most of the poems by the metaphysicals are full of the use of such type of conceits, which are now famous as metaphysical conceits. I'll explain this term, metaphysical conceit, while discussing John Donne's poems prescribed in your syllabus. I am now simply giving you the background to the metaphysical poetry, because before starting or before reading any poem in detail, you must have at least the minimum knowledge, minimum information regarding the trend, regarding the, you can say, the features that is prevalent in the poems of that time. So, John Donne is now regarded as the founder of the metaphysical movement. He was born during the Elizabethan age, but he continued to write even after the Jacobean age. And even during that age, during the age of William Shakespeare, which was a purely romantic age, and last part, Ben Jonson was a realist during the Jacobean age. So in that age, he tried to write a different kind of poem, which was later known as metaphysical poems. So he was the founder. Today he is known, he is famous as the founder of metaphysical poetry. He wrote both kinds of poems, religious lyrics as well as love lyrics. And his followers, some of them tried to write both. Some of them wrote only religious poems. Some others wrote only love lyrics. So basic differences are not there. Common features are the same, but each individual poet has written his poem in his own way, but all of them are grouped together and they are now known as metaphysical poets. Now, the first poem by John Donne prescribed in your syllabus is The Sun Rising. The Sun Rising. It is a love poem. And the theme of the poem, this poem, is Carpe Diem, that is, seize the day. Seize the day. And here you will see the use of metaphysical conceit at its best. I'll discuss this conceit after some time. So let us go through the poem first. I think you have your books on poetry. You will take the help of the book. So the sun rising. Busy old fool, unruly sun, why dost thou thus through windows and through curtains call on us? Must to thy motions lovers' seasons run? Saucy, pedantic, wretch, go chide, late schoolboys and sore prentices. Go tell court huntsmen that the king will ride. Call country aunts to harvest offices. Love, all alike, no season knows, nor clime, nor hours, days, months, which are the rags of the time. This is the first stanza. What is the setting? What is the picture before the readers? Two lovers, lover and his beloved. They are sleeping in their chamber. They are sleeping in the bedroom. They sleep throughout the night. Now it is morning, daybreak. The sun rises. Now the lover is so much absorbed in enjoying the company of his beloved that he forgets the reality. The rising of the sun is a reality. The sun must rise, and in the evening it must set. This is a kind of rule. It cannot be changed. This is a hard reality. It cannot be changed. But the lover has nothing to do with all such hard realities of this universe. He is ready even to ignore the existence of the sun, the daily routine of the sun. He has nothing to do, anything at all, with all the ways of nature. So, he is very much disturbed by the rising of the sun. Why? Because the rays of the sun enter their bedroom through windows and curtains. And his sleep, their sleep, not his but their sleep is disturbed. As soon as they are disturbed, the lover begins to chide the sun. Now see the courage of the lover. Nobody has the courage to face the sun. But what about this lover? The lover of John Donne? He challenges the sun. He abuses the sun. He begins to chide the sun. Now see what he says and how he chides the sun. Busy old fool. The first word is busy. The sun never takes rest. Since its creation, the sun has never taken rest, and it will go on doing its duty till the end of this universe. So the sun is always busy. The lover remembers this thing, this truth, that sun is the busiest person in this universe. So busy. Old fool. So sun is regarded as a busy old fool. Busy, you have understood. Why old and why fool? Old because sun is there in this universe since the beginning of this universe. So old in this creation, beginning of the creation. So old, oldest person. Busy old fool. He calls the sun a fool. Why fool? That will be made clear after a few lines. You will see here in these lines how the sun is a fool. So see, busy old fool. He addresses the sun as busy old fool. Next thing, unruly sun. The sun is unruly. If the sun is the king of this universe, he is not a perfect king. He is not a good king. He does not know how to rule properly. The sun is unruly. The duty of a king is not to disturb its subjects. Now the sun is disturbing me and my beloved. So sun is unruly. Busy old fool, unruly sun. Why dost thou thus? Why do you, in this manner, through windows and through curtains, call on us? Why have you entered my bedroom through windows and through curtains? Who has given you this type of authority? Who has given you the permission to enter my bedroom? Don't you know that a person must knock at the door before entering? But you simply entered without any knocking at the door. So why dost thou thus? Why do you in this manner, through windows and through curtains, call on us? So busy old fool, unruly son, you are unruly because you don't know etiquette. You don't know proper behavior. So even though you are the king, you are unruly. You don't know how to rule properly. Must to thy motions lovers' seasons run? Saucy pedantic wretch, Go chide late school boys and sword apprentices. You see. Must to thy motions lovers seasons run? Do you think that your motion controls the season of the lovers, time of the lovers? People know, people believe that season changes because of the movement of the sun. The sun has the capacity to make change of seasons. Change of seasons. This is true. Even I know this. But you have forgotten one thing. You don't know that lovers are like kings. Lovers are above all. And they have control over their own seasons, own time. You can't control the season and time of the lovers. So, must to thy motions lover seasons runs? One question mark is there, note of interrogation is there. That means the lover raises this question. Herein lies the answer. O son, unruly son, busy son, old fool, you should know the fact that your motions do not run the seasons of lovers. Your motions may have control over the whole universe, the whole nature, but your motion do not have any control. Your motions do not have any control over the seasons of the lovers. Saucy. See how he chides the sun. You are rude. You are disturbing us in the worst possible way. So you are saucy. Saucy means rude. Pedantic. You know that you are a learned person. But I think that you are not a learned. You are like a schoolmaster. Okay? So, oh saucy, pedantic, wretch, unhappy person. You are always unhappy, disturbing others. Why do you disturb? A happy person never disturb others. So you are a wretch. You are an unhappy person. And so you disturb us. So, oh saucy, pedantic wretch, go chide late school boys. You don't have any work here. In my chamber, go and do your duty by asking the school children that they are becoming late. Go and chide late school boys and sword apprentices. Go and chide the apprentices, the trainees who are sore, that means unwilling to go to work. This is quite natural that because of lethargy, the apprentices do not want to go to work timely. So go and chide those people. Go and chide the late school boys. That is your duty. Go and chide the apprentices, sore apprentices, late apprentices, and unwilling apprentices, the apprentices, the trainees who are unwilling to go to work. Go and remind them that they have to go to their work, their duty, their offices. You have nothing to do here. Go there and ask others to be ready for their work. Go tell court huntsmen. Go and tell the huntsmen of court, Shikari, huntsmen. What should you tell them? Go and tell them that the king will ride, that the king is ready for hunting. and the hunters, court huntsmen, the hunters of the court have to accompany the king. Their master, their king is ready for hunting. Go and help, go and assist your master, your king. So, O son, busy old fool, go and chide late schoolboys, sword apprentices, court huntsmen, and call country aunts to harvest offices. Actually, country aunts, it is a figurative use. Country aunts means here farmers. Farmers who are always busy like ants, doing this, doing that, busy here, busy there. You must have seen ants. They are always busy in doing their work. So here farmers are regarded as ants. So call country ants to harvest offices. Remind them that they have to go for harvesting. They have to go in search of new works. So go and remind them. You have nothing to do here in my chamber. Don't try to disturb us, because you should know the truth that your motions have no control over the season of the lovers. Love all alike, no season knows nor clime. Love is free from all kinds of restrictions. It has nothing